Okay, it's alive. It's alive.
Okay. Later.
Bye. Hey Leslie, the link is there, huh? Hey Miss Moji, how you doing, sis? Hey Sharon, hey Sherry. Guys, I'm sorry about the delay, but we had a technical difficulty. We changed some things and it just would not let us into StreamYard. Hey Traisha, how you doing, hon? Leslie, you see the link? I'm gonna give it a moment. I'm gonna let some more people get in. Hey Leslie. Hey Leslie, can you hear me? Leslie?
Oh,
Leslie?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm like, good. I
I'm
was
like, the
like,
phone
that's
is
all it
open, but
needs
I'm
is for
not
something else to
talking
go
and I'm
wrong.
talking. I am cracking myself up.
Mm-mm.
How are you today, Miss Lita?
I'm good. I can't complain. I'm here.
I know
I
that's
got
right.
breath in
Well,
my body, so definitely can't complain about that.
yes, yes, we can't complain, but who's gonna listen to that?
Okay.
Right. Who even cares?
Look,
Well, you know
okay.
what? I
For
am
real,
not
for
gonna ask
real.
that question because people do care. Okay?
See, look, they laughing at me because I always say, Leslie, Leslie, girl.
Leslie girl.
Sherry in here putting it on here. Leslie, girl.
Yes, I see it.
Y'all know her name. Y'all definitely know her name. Hey, Miss Carmela.
Yes, Mrs. Moji says no complaining here.
I'm with you, sis. I am definitely with you. Uh,
Hi,
um,
girls. I just want to say hello to everyone. This is Miss
I
Mochi.
cannot with him. Y'all pray for
Oh,
gangster. Gangster needs some help.
Hello, everyone.
I'm
Hello,
like,
guys.
what in
This
the
is Miss
world?
Mochi. I'm just a little hoarse today. My tongue,
a
I'm under
lot
the
of
weather.
us.
I
You
want
will
to
not
say
do
to
my
you guys
sis.
that I love you all.
Wow.
I miss you all. My prayers are with you.
Woo!
Oh,
Woo!
just a little touch of coronavirus. That's all.
Oh,
Mm,
Jesus.
Don't worry about me,
He
guys.
ain't got no
Let's
coronavirus. He better
continue
stop
on.
playing for you get sick.
Let's continue on,
Right.
guys. I love you.
You
Well,
better
we love
stop
you
playing for
too.
you get sick. Huh.
Right.
He be cutting up all the time. Oh my goodness. Y'all
Sound a
pray
little
for
rough.
him. He needs some help. I don't know what to say about that man. He definitely needs some help.
Woo.
Mm-mm. So we got 7 people in here again, y'all. I apologize for the delay. We had changed some things on the channel, and it would not let us into StreamYard. So we were having a bad time, and I've been at this since probably about 5:30. I always try to go into the chat 30 minutes ahead of time to get everything set up, but it just would not work at all. And so we had to talk and redo everything, and we finally got in. So again, I apologize. I apologize. Hey, Miss Scorpio, how you doing? Yep. Chaisha, he keep me choking because I just never know what's gonna come out of him or Glenn's mouth. And yeah, I have to pray each time I talk to one of them. You know, that's all
Pray
I
for
can
yourself
say.
too.
You okay? Hey, LaShonda Stafford, how you doing?
LaShonda in the
Stanford?
building.
Yeah. I'm doing okay, Miss Scorpio. I can't complain. I'm here, honey. I cannot complain. We're gonna give it another minute and then we will go ahead and get started. So how are you guys doing today? If you're doing good, put a 1 in the chat. Leslie, how are you doing today?
I am well. I feel brand new.
Well, that's good. Did you enjoy your Starbucks? Let me leave Leslie alone. Y'all, Leslie gonna tell me off about her Starbucks. Leslie, you there? Oh Lord. Don't tell me I lost Leslie again. Leslie? Leslie? I don't know what's going on. I see you in the chat, but you're not in the backstage. Oh, here. Oh Lord. Yes, Miss Mochi.
Is everyone okay today?
Y'all, I cannot with this man.
Okay, just a little hoarse today. That's
Y'all, he
all.
cannot act right to save his life. Somebody help him.
Jesus help him.
Yes,
Y'all pray for me,
please.
keep me in prayers, guys.
Woo,
Cause you know there's nothing like women power.
woo. You
I'm
sound
Amy,
rather bad.
sure you heard of black power and white power. There's nothing like women power, okay, girls? We have
oh
to
my.
stick together. We have to stick together. And we need to
Did you
show
get your hair
our
done
men.
today, Miss Moji? You
We
got
need,
some, huh?
we need to show our men, ladies. Okay?
No, no, the
We
hell
need
we
to show
don't.
our men.
No, no, the hell we don't.
And
Look,
God will bless us all.
I cannot with him, y'all. Now y'all know my sis. She gonna get her nails done, whatever she can. My sis keep her nails
Yes.
on point. Okay, on point. But gangster, he know I'm gonna talk bad about him. He be cutting up.
You know that cannot be the missus. Because that
Exactly.
voice was painful. You hear me?
Man, was it ever?
Woo! Painful.
Mm-mm. Just the sight of him as a woman is
Whoa.
painful.
Oh
Okay.
God. Oh God.
That's a horrible combination.
Woo! I can't
I'm
even
sorry.
imagine.
All right. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into this topic tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about how blunt is too blunt to be hurtful. Anybody had this problem? Anybody had this problem? Because I know I can be extremely blunt. I can be cutthroat at times. I'm just saying. I know I ain't the only one that had this problem. Leslie, you there? Oh Lord. Leslie thing done went out again. Leslie girl, what's going on with your sister? Miss Moji, you there?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. This the
Hey,
real
y'all.
Miss Moji. I thought gangster was back cutting up again.
No, it's
Y'all
me
know.
this.
Oh, okay. Leslie,
So,
she say I'm coming back.
okay.
Now go right ahead, sis.
Girl, I said here to start eating these pomegranate vanilla flavored cashews.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, they're so good. So, I want to say, as far as your question goes,
Oh, that
how
sounds good.
blunt is too blunt? I feel like you have to know who you're talking to with regards to like how blunt you're going to be, you know? It's like I think I learned like from working at T-Mobile all these years, like you have to know how to tone it down depending on the audience, like depending on who you're talking to, depending on the person, the situation. You know what I mean? Because you can't be the same with everyone as far as how you're going to respond, how you're going to talk to someone, and also how you're even going to treat someone. That's my opinion. I don't know. Y'all can. Yeah, you might have to go extra hard depending on who you're talking to, but then sometimes you might have to soften it up depending on who you're talking to as well.
I mean, I definitely agree with that. It really depends on who you actually speaking to. Sometimes it can be difficult, especially if it's someone you just getting to know, in regards to making the conversation work and it's not being overpowering in regards to your delivery or what you have to say. But it takes time with any relationship in regards to being able to find mutual grounds to stand upon, and get and grasp an understanding of what each individual person is trying to say without being taken off as offensive. Oh Lord, I see that big old belly. Buddha! Buddha!
He said, Buddha!
When you do, Buddha? When you do? Miss Moji. Miss Moji, why you get him knocked up like that? Huh?
Girl, he having the baby, not me.
Y'all help him, because he is really cutting up. What is this man doing in the background?
He is retarded. Not retarded like that. Oh,
So
let
what
me
are they
stop
talking
saying
about,
like
baby?
that. But like how blunt is too blunt when talking to like people,
How blunt is too blunt when talking to people?
Right. Is that the question?
Hey, Kyron, how blunt is too blunt to be hurtful?
Oh, thank you.
How blunt is too blunt to be hurtful? I think that when you say what you need to say the wrong way, that's too blunt when it come out hurtful. If you say what you're trying to say, and you say it kind of like stiff, hard, do I really to talk basically what I'm trying to tell you. But anyway,
oh no, he didn't. Wait a minute.
You were in the bus.
She done threw me on the 4 buses and 18 wheelers. So
no, he didn't.
She threw me up on the trains. I mean, in front of airplanes, everything, diesels, all that. So yeah,
apparently, I didn't throw you hard enough. I need to throw you again.
So when you too blunt, that's like when you say something and you don't really have regards of how you saying what you saying. You just pretty much want to be heard, I guess.
Right.
To a certain extent. So it's a lot of ways to be too blunt.
For me, it's not like that. I don't try to be blunt just so that way I can be heard. I'm just naturally blunt. I mean, I have been raised around dudes. Hey, Jay Breezy. Hey, Kyron. I've been raised around.
Out, Leslie.
No, I think it's this one. Hold on, let me see. I think it's this one that we should have put on there and take this one off.
Okay, now
here come another Leslie. Hold on.
Here we can hear Leslie.
That second Leslie is me. The second Leslie is me.
Okay.
Let me see this.
What's up, Glenn? Yeah, we see the Bumblebee shirt that he got on.
Okay,
you still on that, Leslie?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Let's see about this one.
So I think that's the right one.
Nope, it's this one. Put that one back in and take that one out. Leslie, are you there, Leslie?
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, so for me, I have been around guys most of my life, so I know how to shoot the shit with dudes. And so I think I can be a little too overpowering and too blunt when it comes to females, which is why I don't have very many female friends, because I'm just used to being blunt. Like I can talk lip to your husband 24/7, and we gonna laugh and crack up.
You ran him off. Excuse me.
I see you. If you don't realize, I see your crazy behind in the picture frame.
You ran him off. Ooh, my God.
I can't stand him. Does he not realize that I can see his every move in the picture frame? Even when you trying to stand to the side, I see you.
Miss
Y'all
Margie,
forgive
what
me
does
my
he
cough,
have in his
y'all.
mouth?
Ooh, y'all forgive me my cough. Shit in the
What's in
mouth.
your throat?
I can't stand
Ain't coming
him.
back.
I
They
can't
ain't gonna come back.
stand him.
Who this cough, y'all? This cough, forgive me, baby.
So Lita, like I want to say, so like me, I don't have a lot of friends, period, right? I mean, I have like select, few, and then I have like my YouTube. You are my friend, baby. But like I actually grew up with like a lot of boys, right? Brothers, cousins, a lot of boys as well, a lot of men. So I know how to shoot the shit with men, right? And then I also know how to shoot it with women. So I feel like I was saying earlier, it's important that you know exactly who you shooting it with, and that you have to not be the same with every person, right? Like, so like me, for example, I might talk to you, sis, like a different way than I would talk to Leslie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Leslie, no offense, but like I'm just saying,
No, I
like, because
do.
like I know her a little bit more, right? So I might say something to her just off the wall, and she
Yeah.
might not get her, right? But you, if I'm just getting to know you, I'm probably not gonna say the same thing to you that I would say to Lita. You know what I mean?
Monitor your
Yes,
words.
yes,
Yeah.
true.
Right. And like I feel like in life you have to know how to do that, right? You have to know
Right.
how to have like
A balance.
compassion. Okay, with this
Adjust
person
yourself.
right here, stop, tiny girl. With this person right here, like I might not tell them, or I might tell them how I feel, but I might do it in a softer way. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then this person right here, I might tell you how I feel a little bit tougher. For example, like I'm trying to get that out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Leslie, what you got to say in regards to it?
Well, as for me, I am unapologetically blunt,
Okay.
but without a sharp tongue, though.
Okay.
Or should I say, I do not practice with a sharp tongue, because I don't like that. I don't like that at all, and I don't want anyone to talk to me funny like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, being the youngest of 9, I had to know how and learn how to adjust myself. I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters. So those personalities coming at you, if you wanted to elevate your voice, you knew how to put it into it real quick,
Yeah.
because you wasn't fooling nobody in that house. You know what I'm saying? So as far as me in that position, I was the youngest. So my loud tone, however, although it was blunt, my loud voice became a whisper to those who were bigger than me, if I'm making sense. So I had to learn how to adjust myself in any crowd, in any situation. And definitely with my man, I'd rather be happy than to be right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that bluntness, I had to kill it, because nobody cares. I was not impressing anyone with my bluntness when it comes to in a hurtful kind of way, in a sharp kind of way. So my bluntness has toned down tremendously, where it doesn't hurt or offend. And if it does, we can adjust ourselves. We can check our tones. We can think before we speak. And while we're speaking, we can look at the person's facial expression. Do they have a grimace on their face? Do they have a face like they're looking like they want to say, ouch, ouch, you hurt me, kind of a look? Because if that's going on, I'm going to shut it all the way down and start apologizing. I don't never want to overpower people. I don't care about that. That doesn't add to my bank account. So I'm not her.
Okay, so let me ask you, what if you can't see that person's actual demeanor in regards to how they're taking something that you say? Then
I can feel it. I can feel it, because I know me, and I know that something is not right here. This person is extra quiet. If we're on the phone, you're extra quiet. So I'm sorry. Are you okay? And see, my caregiving.
And vice versa, they can be extra loud too.
And they can, but you know what I do? I promise you.
Extra loud. They can be extra funny. They can be extra. A lot of ways they can show that energy that they're not really vibing with what you said.
And that's okay. That's true.
Whatever. Those are all signs that you have to know
That's
how to.
true. Yeah, and you know what, Gangsta Moji, that is so true. And when that happened, and it has, I don't like going back and forth with people. So I am known to say, oh, you know what? Hold that thought. I guarantee you, I'm getting out of this situation. I am not about to go back and forth with anybody from this point on. I don't want to do that. You can be right. I'm wrong. I don't care. I don't have to live with you, sleep with you. So you can be right all day. I really
Okay.
don't care. I don't care. You know, at some
Right.
point you have to realize what make you sick. And what made me sick in the past is loud yelling and all that going back and forth. It's countless. I don't need that. And you won. That's it.
Because at the end of the day, your bluntness, it don't come before the people you love.
Exactly.
It don't come before
Exactly.
you love somebody. Being blunt don't come before them.
Exactly.
Being happy with them is more important than being blunt. So sometimes we might have to, turn our volume down, turn our volume up. Just to
That's
make
right.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is. Like I
I
don't know.
also feel like in your heart, like you know. So
You do
like
know.
me, right? Like I know my heart will tell me, okay, like the way you're talking to this person, like you know you're being rude, right? Are
That's
you
right.
coming across blunt? You know what I'm
Hold
saying?
on,
Like
baby,
it doesn't take
This cough, baby. Hold on,
it.
cough, baby. This cough.
Hey, Queen Rose.
Lita. Ooh. I'm talking about Lita.
Hey, bro.
Ooh, this
I
cough, y'all.
can't stand him.
I'm talking
Y'all,
about Lita.
I'm gonna smack the crap out of him.
Yeah, what's wrong with him? Like, what's in his throat and what's going on?
I'm talking about Lita. Ooh. I'm talking about Lita.
He likes to harass me 24/7, and I just don't understand him. You know.
Oh, he's trying to say you need some tea.
Look, he gonna need. Sis, you gonna need a foot removal. Your husband keep on. Look,
y'all give Lita a hard time.
No,
he always give me a hard time.
Wow.
To me, like the way I see it is, right? Like you want to talk to people and treat people how you want to be talked to and how you want to be treated.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that. Like it just comes from a place of respect. We like even if I don't agree with what you're saying, I'm like I can still respect your opinion and still voice how I feel, but in a nice way. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to come across blunt. Like sometimes the way that you say things, like you can say it without being blunt, and that person will still get your point. You know what I mean? But it won't be in a hurtful way.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. When I actually worked as a facilitator, one of the things were you had to be able to interject your thoughts upon someone else without actually overpowering their thoughts. You want to find common grounds in regards to their thoughts, but at the same point in time where y'all utilizing each and every person's skill set to get the job done. And so that was the main thing. Like I remember I did one exercise with them where basically they had to get a piece of paper from one end of the table to the other end, but you couldn't move your feet. And so everybody had their own ideas, but it was a matter of working together and hearing one another out in order to accomplish the task. So for me, I think some people don't hear others out, or they have a preconceived notion in regards to that person's demeanor, and they take it as if no matter what they say, it's going to be a negative connotation in regards to their delivery, because they've become so used to that person and the way that they speak that they feel like anything that they say is going to be blunt or hurtful. And so that's that's just my opinion in that regards. But sometimes that's just what happens. It doesn't matter what you say, or if you say it in a nonchalant way, it's going to come off in a negative connotation. And so how do you resolve that?
Well, that's a good question. Oh my God, that is a good question. And before
Hey, Rosalind.
That's a good question, Miss Lita. And before I even can begin to answer that same individual that you are describing could be one who has selective hearing.
Mm-hmm.
So you can be as sweet as you're going to be. They can hear something else because it's something that they have inside of them that they haven't even talked to you about. which means what?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? And you don't know what this thing is. It's something underlying. And I know someone like that. And I found out what it was. Why is it that I can say hello to this person in a soft tone? They say hello back. And for some reason, they hear something that I never said or say.
Mm-hmm.
And so, fast forward, what is this thing? What did I say? Like, can we do this? Can we put everything on the table? What did I say? Okay, so what it was, the person was, they more than wanted to be my friend. They wanted something more, but I didn't receive it. And so the rejection, they thought I was, well, I wasn't trying to be with the person anyway, but they started growing this resent. So they had this resentful heart, and it was underlying. So for your question, it's like hard for me to really answer that question, because that is a lot that could be going on that we don't even know. I could be wearing
Definitely.
the wrong shoes today and you have a problem. My hair could be off and you might have a problem. I'm just saying, I don't know. It could be something inside of that person too, just have that anger or receive you in some kind of way. I don't know, Miss Lita. It's a lot that could be going on
But
with
then
that
it
person.
also could be that. It also could be both of these parties or whoever it is thinking that there's an issue, right? So there's an issue on this side, there's an issue on that side. So without proper communication
True,
on both sides,
true.
then the issue is always going to stay there, and both people are going to think that each other is wrong when really, like, no one has properly communicated. One can say, "Oh, I tried this," or "I communicated this way," and the other one says,
Yes.
"Well, I did this," but really neither one has. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so and people are always most people want to be right in every situation when you can't be right in every, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to say, okay, I'm about to pick my battle, right? So I'm gonna let you go ahead and say what you want to say, right? I'm gonna let you feel how you want to feel, and then I'm gonna come back once everything is calmed down, and then we're gonna talk it out. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
like
Now I
sometimes
am.
you know how to hold your tongue for a little while and put that pride to the side and say, okay, you know, like yes, maybe I did hurt you, right? Or maybe you know what I'm saying, like, and then you can say, you know, I'm sorry for hurting you, and then have that conversation. You know, once everybody is calm, but you have to do it in the right way. You know what I'm saying, like and at the right time as well.
Now I am that person who I definitely believe in taking a time out. Because if we are in a heated discussion or a disagreement, I have to take a time out, because if I say something at that moment, I know I'm going to go for your jugular. I'm not going to be nice, leader. I'm going to say everything. And if you think I'm mean, then you definitely gonna hate leader when she mad. So I have to do a time out and and regroup my thoughts and what I actually say to a person, because if I speak to them right then it will be a problem, because I know nothing that I'm going to say is going to come out nicely. So I
Leslie,
have to take
I
Leslie.
Yes,
didn't
I'm
cut
here.
you off.
Okay.
You right there? Hold on.
So it's the one on the end.
Okay. Okay. Can you speak now,
Leslie.
Leslie?
Okay, no.
Oh, Leslie?
I'm
Leslie.
here. Yes.
Okay.
That's
Testing.
all right. Okay.
Testing. Still here.
Yeah, so
Testing.
I mean, that's just me. I have to take a time out, because I know when I'm mad, my thoughts are not going to come across in a nice magnitude. And it's going to be very disruptive. I'm going to go for your jugular. So I have to regroup, step away from the situation, and then approach it the next day, because I know me as a person and I don't want to be hurtful. But if I'm mad and I'm telling you I'm mad, like, just give me a moment, let me regroup, let me get my thoughts together, and you study trying to make me talk, it's not going to be a nice conversation.
I can understand.
Leslie, what's your thoughts?
Well, I was just thinking, after listening to motivational speakers for so many years, And just looking at myself when it comes to how I moved in the past versus what do I want for myself today.
Mm-hmm.
People can elevate in front of you, causing all kinds of havoc. Do I want to say, okay, well, you made me slap you, or you made me call you outside of your name? I no longer believe that anyone can make me slap them. If you slap me, that's different. I have the right to defend myself, but I'm talking about.
Uh-oh. Is everybody still there? I think everybody's cut off.
Did they cut the live off or something?
I don't know, but it says it's still going, but Leslie's is gone and Liz is
gone. Hello? Can the people in the live still hear you? Let's talk to them and talk in the chat. Say everybody's live.
Everybody press 1 if you can hear me, please.
Look,
there it goes. Oh, do I hit add the stream?
Yep.
Okay, I don't know what happened.
My twin is gonna come up again. I'm on 2 different devices.
Okay, let me. What do I do then?
Let me see. Leslie, speak again, Leslie.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, let's see. Leslie, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, what's going on? Everybody putting a 1 in the chat.
Because I wasn't sure if they could hear me.
I'm still here.
Okay.
That's
Liz,
not me.
Come in here with your mess, I'm telling you.
Now, you know, Glenn always starts some stuff.
Yeah.
Can I hit the block button from here?
No,
I can hear everybody.
Don't worry, sis. I'll block him.
Hey. Glenn, don't do me, okay? Don't do me today.
Right. At the end of the day, I don't think that anyone can make me do anything. I have the power to walk away. I have the power to go back and forth with the person. I have the power to ask the other person, hey, hold that thought. Because what I don't want to do is to elevate. Because in my past, I was known to go from 1 to 10, right, within 2 seconds. And I wasn't proud of that. You know, and I don't like her. I don't like the Leslie of yesterday. I love the Leslie of today. And so I don't want to be triggered.
Okay now.
And I don't allow myself to be triggered. So like I said, when somebody says something to me that is unpleasant, I don't want to go at them with an equal personality, an equal tone, and none of that stuff. Because they're going to live their life and be happy in it. Me, I have to get on my knees and pray, Lord, please forgive me. You don't know the life I live. You don't know where I want to go when I leave here. And I know where I want to go. And that place will not allow me to enter that door if I'm cussing people out, backhand slapping them, going back and forth with them. I don't have the time. I promise you. People have cried to me. They have said this and that to me. Leslie, I didn't like you. Why not? I don't know. They say they don't know. And then the same people say, Leslie, would you pray with me and would you pray for me? Then they find out why they didn't like me. They didn't like me because I wasn't acting according to the way that they wanted me to act.
Right. You didn't go off.
I did not. And I will tell you, if you saying something that I feel is unpleasant, then it is unpleasant. And the most you're going to get out of me is what I've learned. 1 word. Ouch. That's what I have for you. Ouch. You're going to know that hurt it. And you have no right to conduct yourself in that way. So ouch. And that 1 word is going to pierce you later on.
Yep.
So
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yeah, so what I was going to say, like the way I am, right? Like I'm a peaceful person. I want to come in people's life and be peaceful, right? Like I want people to remember me for being that kind person, right? The one that extended the grace to people, the same grace that God gives me. You know what I mean? So like, and I really use that in my everyday life, right? So I try not to let anything that anyone does control my my actions, right? It make me step out of character and become somebody that I'm not. You know what I mean? So I feel like when you can get to that point to where you can say, I would rather walk peace than to argue with someone, right? Or let someone make me go there with them, then I would just eliminate myself out of that situation. So if you feel like you have to be in a situation to where you're gonna go off, or to where you always have to take a time out, or you have to take a break, then maybe interacting with those people, is probably not the right thing. Some
And
like
I definitely
and like blocking people for real, like in real life. Like if you're gonna come in my life, come with the same peace. Because if not,
Yes.
right. I refuse to let someone disturb my happiness and my peace. So then, if you don't have the same energy as me, like it's no hard feelings, right? I wish you nothing but the best, but at the same time, I'm probably not going to interact with you.
I know
I
that's
definitely
right.
agree with what you're saying. Like, I can love a person, but at the same point in time, I don't have to interact with them. Because right now, at my age, my peace is the most important thing to me. And I don't like to get into disagreements constantly with someone. I'm trying to set boundaries in regards to I'm gonna cut you. If you don't shut up, I'm gonna cut you. I'm trying to set boundaries in regards to our interactions and how we interact with one another. But at the same point in time, it's a process in regards to learning a person. And so you're not going to pick up their mannerisms like right away in regards to how they handle and how they do. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Oh
Could
my
you please
God,
stop
I'm
making
sorry.
that noise, please? Thank you.
I'm sorry. It just I seen that and that just made me almost lose my dinner. Jesus. Hey, Crystal. But no, so like I say, right now I'm all about my peace. So I have
Yes.
remove myself from a number of people, and it still doesn't mean that I don't love them, but I have to love them from a distance because my peace is what's
Yes.
important to me. And until we can establish boundaries in regards to one another where we have an understanding to be able to deal with one another, I prefer my peace instead of a toxic relationship. And I'm not saying that it necessarily all has to be toxic, but at the same point in time, if we don't have an understanding in regards to each other and what triggers a person, then it can definitely cause some problems in the long run. So I prefer to remove myself and to keep my peace. So that's just me. But I was going to say, I read this blunt checklist, and so the blunt checklist basically says, number one thing is to honor people as well as your purpose and your message. Much of your bluntness comes from focusing purely on the message you want to deliver. Oddly enough, it makes the message less clear because your emotions packed statement blocks the listening. So before speaking, ask yourself what impacts your words. What impacts your words will the others hear? Honestly, with honoring the humans coming out as blunt. This is why honoring Head's bluntness checklist, it'll be the best way to actually keep your emotions in check and tact. So that's one of the things that they say is to honor people as well as your purpose and your message. The next thing it says is openness to others' possibilities make you less blunt. I'm always open to hear someone else and their side of the spectrum. And so I don't have a problem with that. Now, like you said before, sometimes you may not agree with their side of the spectrum, but you can agree to disagree in regards to certain things. Let's see, you and
I don't
family
really
say,
believe in that agree to disagree statement. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't.
Yes.
I mean, I know a lot of people do, but I don't. But I wanted to read this comment here. This was a good comment or a good question. So, how do you address a bluntful person to get them to understand and not have them cut you out? So that's really a good question.
for me,
It says, so how do you address a bluntful person to get them to understand and not have them cut you out? So for one, I feel like
A blunt person, I mean, if y'all have the conversation, y'all talking back and forth, it ain't gonna be nothing. Like, y'all don't need to chill out.
right.
Like,
Well, no, I think what they're saying is like, how do you address a person that's so blunt right? And then they don't hear you out, right? Or they don't want to understand your side. You know what I'm saying? Like they automatically. You know
I
what I mean?
wouldn't even try. If they don't want to understand what I'm saying, then I wouldn't.
I think that's what the question.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just going off that. Not saying that that's what they saying.
Right.
But if they saying that they trying to talk to them, and that person cut them out for whatever they're trying to say to them, then I won't keep trying to talk.
Right.
I'll leave it where it's at. There won't be no issue. Because at the end of the day, in the process of communication, you have to have somebody talking and somebody listening.
Right.
At all times. From both parties. So you talk, I listen. I talk, you listen.
Right.
And then we find common ground to stand on. That's how I have to think.
And that's communication.
But if I get to the point, you know what? I don't want to hear no more what that you got to say. And within yourself, you have to withdraw yourself from it. Because the conversation was interesting for we didn't reach no solution. There was no resolving it. And so we just have to go our way.
Right.
Because I'm not going to be talking to somebody that's not trying to do it.
Right.
And I'm not going to definitely talk to somebody. They got to do all the talking.
Right.
So that's just what that, I mean, I hope that answers it, I guess.
Does that answer your question, you and family?
Can I say something about that, please?
Yes, you sure can. Yeah.
To connect with the you and family's question, and also the scenario that Gangsta Emoji used in that question and in that scenario, I don't feel that the person is necessarily blunt. It feels like, and it looks like from here, I'm saying, from here, that such person is passionate. Because for me, I say that because when it comes to being blunt, I am blunt, but it's not with a sharp tongue though. It's just I am direct. I really try not to I really try to just get to the point in my bluntness. And so, and you know, my sons used to call me that. They would say, "Dang, Mom, you so blunt." So when I was talking to them about girls and, you know, whatever, and I would use medical terms and I would use street terms. I would tell them, you know, this is the street term, but before I say it, I want you to know I'm going to spell it a little bit because I don't want to shock your ears, because whoever was not age appropriate could not hear those things. Mm-hmm. I had to wait on the younger ones to get old enough for me to talk like that anyway. So I would have to speak in medical terms to them. And then when I get to the word that many parents may not want to address or use when it comes to sex, sometimes, you know, parents say sex. If you would stop doing that, you just have to be blunt in the way that's direct. Not so much blunt in a way that's hurtful, blunt in the way that is sharp tonguing somebody, and you know, it could be pleasant to the ears in your bluntness.
Okay, so Leslie, let me ask
that I resonate with.
Let me ask you this
bluntness. I don't like that.
Right, no, me either.
Leslie, let me ask you this. So you made a good point in regards to being passionate versus being blunt. Can you give an example to everyone in regards to a person being passionate versus a person being blunt?
So my example is the example that Gangsta Emoji used, but I'll just go ahead and give my own personal. So being passionate, you got two people, okay? It could be a wife and a husband, it could be. And so the wife wants to be heard and the husband wants to be heard. Both parties are passionate. Both parties are direct in their speech, okay? It has nothing to do with, well, they're not being rude, or maybe even in that conversation, both parties are rude, because you got that. Okay, so let me stay focused. So we're going to say both parties are passionate, okay? You can be passionate. You can have patience in your passion. You know, the wife wants to talk. Okay, husband, it's time for you to pause. Listen to the wife. Okay, the husband is like itching to talk. Okay, so now the husband is talking. He's very passionate in what he's saying, but he's not being rude with what he's saying. And so being blunt could be some rudeness on either side. You know, the wife could say, honey, well, I don't like your hair today because it's leaning over to the left too much. I don't know. It looked like you need to pick it out or brush it a little bit more so you can even it out. That's rude, blunt.
Mm-hmm.
And then the husband could come back and counteract and say, well, wife, I don't know, an example, but I don't know. Wife, maybe you could stop wearing stilettos and why don't you wear flats? Because I don't like you in stilettos. You look like you're going to dance on the pole. I don't know. That is rude, but direct. That is sharp tongue on both sides, putting each other down kind of rudeness. But the first scenario is passion. You just feel like you're just so hyped to talk. You just can't wait until the other one land their plane. You just really feel like you just gotta talk, gotta cut them off.
Like you
But
talk over them.
You wait. You're not running over them, but you wait. You pause a little bit. But in that bluntness, no, you're gonna run that person over in your bluntness. But in your passion and being passionate, you can have patience in that passion. It's a big difference. One, you're being rude, blunt, rude. Passion, you're not being rude. You just got that heightness about yourself. You act like you can't wait, but you are waiting with.
But
Pause.
I
You got
think
that pause.
being blunt. I think with being blunt and rude, when you combine the two together, then that equals disrespect.
That's disrespect. Yeah, that's a firebomb right there.
What you trying to convey once it's blunt and it's mixed with rudeness, that's
Oh
disrespect.
God.
Now
Oh
if it's
God.
blunt and it mixed with passion, then I think that's a whole different thing.
So
That's
let
something.
me ask you guys as a whole, do you think that passion can be misconstrued as
Yes.
bluntness?
Oh yes, ma'am.
But yeah, it can
Yes,
be.
ma'am.
It could be. But because it's such a fine line there. But at the same time, I think most of us as an adult, we kind of like know how a person's supposed to communicate
Yeah.
and communicate things to us. So we kind of already know like if it's blunt mixed with rudeness or if it's bluntness mixed with passion. Most people know. Most people kind of got that like in them. Like those
Right.
things
You have to have it.
you're not really taught when you come up in life. Kind of like
You get it
the
along.
process of communicating with people. You kind of learn that as you go through life. So, but that's just my take on it. I just feel like when it's bluntness mixed with rudeness, it's disrespectful. No matter if you didn't want to come off disrespectful or not,
Yeah.
that's still disrespect no matter how you look at it. But if it's being blunt and you got
Yeah.
compassion mixed with it, it's not gonna sound the same, it's not gonna look the same, and most nine times out of 10, it's not gonna be received the same. So when it's blunt and it's mixed with rudeness, it's not even gonna look nearly as the same as blunt mixed with passion.
And then I also feel like
It's two different tones there. It's a whole different melody there. It's a different driving force behind each one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They both can
Mm-hmm.
operate at the
Yes.
same spiritual level, but there are different tones that come off of both of them.
and then I also feel like the person that is really blunt, like they know to a certain extent if they're being blunt and rude or if they're being blunt and passionate. You know what I mean? Like they know, whether they admit it or not. You know what I mean? Like you know where you come from. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what place you're speaking from. You know?
It's kind of like what Liz just said. Like when she talked about like not letting nobody go move her into the area to where it's kind of like she got to withdraw herself from that conversation. Now, say for example, I started off a conversation, right? And I'm talking to you, and I started this conversation out being blunt, but I'm compassionate with it, and I'm really trying to like reach your mental.
Right.
I'm really trying to talk to your inner being and reach you and get you on that level with me, right? And in the midst of me trying to do that, you do something or say something that kind of push a button with me. And in the midst of you doing that, then now my bluntness with passion then turn to bluntness with rudeness because my whole tone done changed.
Right.
I'll let you move into that point where Leslie was talking about. So now where my peace been disrupted. And now I'm just speaking
Just
with
recklessly or whatever.
recklessly, angrily, whatever, and not even caring now if I'm even hurting your feelings about what I'm saying. And in the midst of all that, I can still be saying to you that I'm being respectful.
Right.
That I'm being,
passionate and all
so you got to be mindful of all that, if that even makes sense to you.
Yeah. Now, I definitely agree with what you're saying. Like I've tried avenues in regards to because I know that I can be blunt. And so when someone says, hey, I didn't like XYZ, I definitely will stop doing XYZ because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you, but you have to let me know, this is what hurt you. So if I'm being mindful that XYZ hurt you and we address that situation and then something else occurs that is not even on the same lines or the same magnitude, then, I have to then readdress myself and look at myself and figure out how I can interact with this person without offending this person. So I have taken upon myself to set boundaries with some folks and be like, you know what? I see that when I joke, that my jokes are not construed the way that I am trying to make them come off as simply jokes. Some people take them in a hurtful manner, which is why I'll say, you know what? I need to stop joking with you because I see that this is where an underlying issue is in regards to how I joke, with you. And so it can become to the point where some people will they'll take it as I'm being sarcastic, but I'm being serious in regards to what I'm saying, because if I feel like you don't take what I say as in a joking manner, then I have to readjust me in order to be able to have a conversation with you and not offend you. So the best way to do that is just not to joke at all. And I have to stifle who I am as a person at times because
but you don't have to do that. Right.
You can still joke, but don't have to joke in that manner.
Right, and then you also know to joke about what things like you I think it's just like as an adult, like you like one would know, like what jokes are hurtful or like what to joke about and what not to joke about, right? Or how to joke and how not to joke. You know what I mean? Like that's just me. Like if I'm joking with one of my kids, for example, I might not say some things to them that I would say to my husband joke. You know what I mean? Because like
if I be offended by it.
Right. That's what like you have I don't know.
Like
it's just kind of like
this too. Then think about this aspect of it too. Say for instance, hypothetical speaking, right? Say for instance, like say for instance, it's a hypothetical situation. Leader, I tell you, I don't like how you joke with that joke. I feel really offended. And then you explain to me what you meant by the joke. So I really was offended by something that you wasn't really trying to offend me by, right? Yeah, but even whatever we discussed, I'm still telling you, okay, I get your point. You wasn't trying to be on that with me, and I get it. But that joke, I don't like it, and I was offended by it. If I come to you and then you take that and say, well, you know what? I can't joke with you at all.
Then that's wrong.
That means that you didn't hear me out.
That's right.
I don't know how to deal with you. I came with you. You took this joke this way and ran with it.
And then you start putting up the wall.
Then you put up that wall. It's like that whole situation. It just really kind of like reveal who you are as a person if you move like that. Because it should have been that problem should be addressed, and that's it. It shouldn't have go to, well, you know what? I can't joke with you at all no more.
I'm gonna change how I mess with you because I can't joke with you.
Because then it's gonna seem like if somebody tells you that they have a problem with you, you're gonna move different. You're gonna change up.
Right. That's definitely not what I'm saying. So what I'm saying okay, but let me explain.
Yeah, he was just giving a scenario.
Right. So let me explain the reason why I say I don't mind stifling who I am. And yeah, sometimes it does feel like you walking on eggshells because I have had how can I say it without telling, like I have made a comment before that someone else didn't take offense to, but it was a trigger for another person. And I was like, wow, I've never had that happen. And so it put me on alert. And then I kind of monitored the next interaction that I had with the person and they took offense to something else, and I didn't know if it was me as a person or if it was my delivery. But now I watched the same person have an interaction with someone else, and they say and do the exact same thing, and it's perceived in a different manner than when I said it. And they said it the exact same way. So it kind of makes me feel like the only way that I can actually interact with that person is to eliminate my jokes or stifle who I am as a person, because no matter what I say, it's going to be perceived in a wrong manner.
It might look like that, Miss Lita. It may look like that on the outside, that the delivery may have been the same or may look the same, but your heart is different from everybody else's.
True.
So how they received it is going to be different and hit differently every single time. If we're honest, I'm saying it might look different, but it'll hit differently. Can you all hear me? Because I'm not hearing myself. Okay. So let's look like this. Let's look at it on the flip side. So we had a birthday, right? I was 16, birthday. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. Here's my wish. Time to blow out the candles. I'm blowing out the candles. Oh my God, these are trick candles. I cried. Well, everybody else had their birthday. It looked the same, but something happened that was different. The candles did not go. When I blew out the candles, it returned. So I cried. I was devastated. Why? Because my dream cannot come true if the candles are not completely out. And then somebody may say, which, stop crying. Like, why would you cry? You see, now we got a whole nother problem, because how I internalize something is going to be different from how everybody else internalized whatever that is. Or, you can do the same thing to you, your family, or the next person's friends, neighbors. It looked the same, but I was devastated. And so I think that when it comes to us talking to one another, and no matter how direct we are, if the other person receive it as a problem, we have to pause. Not be on the defensive end, but pause and find out, okay, I'm sorry. Can we get to the I'm sorry? Can we get to the I'm sorry, like, more sooner than later? Because if we don't, it's going to escalate.
I agree with that.
Okay.
But I
so
also feel
what I want to do, and I'm not,
Oh, no, go ahead.
And I'm not asking or expecting everybody to practice that. I'm really not expecting everybody to practice that. I have seen people here yesterday who are not here today. So when it comes to life is more precious than short, I don't tell people life is short. I tell people life is now. So when it comes to that bluntness, I have to make sure I'm not hurting anyone, because I don't want to be your enemy. You will never be my enemy. I could be your enemy, but you will never be mine, because I said so years ago. And the way that I move, I'll make sure in my bluntness, I am not hurting your feelings intentionally. However, if I am, I need the other person to tell me. We're all grown-ups. You can tell me, Leslie, that hurt.
I agree.
And I want you to know that I'm not here for that. I'm not here to hurt people. So tell me, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I don't want to do that again. So tell me. And it is up to you to be direct, not blunt, hurting, but direct, to tell me, okay, this is what you said that hurt my feelings, so that I can stop. And I can promise you, I'll work on that, and I'll never do that again.
Exactly.
But also at the same time, you have to know when someone does come to you and say, this hurt my feelings, you don't want to try and justify it. Well, this is why.
Please don't justify it. That is right, Ms. Mosey.
Sometimes that can happen, right? Like people can justify, well, this is why I am. Like, I'm extremely blunt, and you know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, or any, like, and then when someone comes to you with that, when you apologize, you want to apologize out of your heart. You don't want to say, oh, well, I simply say, well, well, okay, well, look, well, I'm gonna go ahead and apologize if you took it that way. But no, that's not an apology.
That's not sincere, right? I understand you.
I'm sorry that I hurt you, and now let me go ahead and change my behavior, right? It's like not me walk on eggshells, but me know my audience and say, okay, yes, I hurt this person. So what I'm gonna do is like maybe I'm gonna tone down my bluntness a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like for this particular person. And maybe with this person, I'm gonna go ahead and be blunt with you because you're good with it. You know what I'm saying? But this person, I'm not, and certainly not apologize from a place like to where you don't mean it from your heart. Like if you don't mean it from your heart, don't even apologize. Don't
right.
say, you know what I'm saying? Like be sincere, be a genuine person when you apologize to someone about something. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I definitely agree with that. Now, so let me give you an example. Like I know this lady had made a comment in regards to my behind. Now I thought it was the funniest shit that I have ever heard, but someone else would have taken offense to it. So this lady made the comment. She said that my ass looked like drywall or envelope. I know I don't have no ass. If you ask me, I tell you all the time, I have no ass at all. Like, you gonna look at the front, you gonna see chest, you gonna see thighs, and bam, no ass at all. But someone else would possibly take offense to someone saying, your ass look like drywall or it looked like an envelope. That doesn't bother me. And so certain things like that, I take it for what it is a joke, and I could care less in regards to what they said. And then it also depends upon the person, because that particular person who had made the comment, I really could care less in regards to who they were, because they were non-sufficient in my life, but if it was something that hurt me, I have no problems with saying, look, hey, I really don't like when you said XYZ, and can you back away from that? I don't have a problem with doing that. But I guess for me, it's one of those things, small things become big things if they're not addressed and if they're not talked about. And so you have to be willing to talk to a person about it, instead of, how can I say it, not so much shutting down, because some look at me saying, hey, I'm put myself in the timeout, we'll address it in the morning, as shutting down. But in actuality, it's not me shutting down, it's me regrouping and gathering my thoughts before I say something that I know can be demeaning or hurtful. If I know me as a person, then I'm going to have to move accordingly, because I know that when my temper is at an all-time high, I don't care what you say, I'm going to go for your jugular. And so I have to remove myself from the situation, so that way I don't reinvert back to the old me and regroup and then approach it in a different manner, because I know me as a person. And so that's why I reinvert. What's the eyebrow?
So maybe that's like, I'm not saying that's a problem, right? But maybe like,
because what it is, sometimes it just takes the apology.
Right.
The talking it out for it make it worse. Right. Not in every situation. Sometimes if you just offer the apology and say, forget the conversation, we're not going to talk about it, I'm going to apologize about it and let it go. When you do like that fixes it. And not in every situation though. And sometimes when you talk about it, it make it worse. Because everybody's bringing up everything that they feel, what they're thinking, what they thought, what they do. All they come out, and it makes it worse. So it's most of the time to be in peace. Not in every situation. I'm just saying in certain situations. When you apologize to somebody about something that they feel it, and you don't talk it out, that works more effective a lot of times. When you say, I'm sorry, and you walk away. I apologize for how I hurt you. I apologize how I've done it.
And then change your action.
You said I did this, even though my
heart
I feel
like that. You
I'm not even going to express that. I'm not even going to express how you took something that I did to you. If I feel like I hurt you, I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention. I'm sorry. God bless you.
I'm definitely not one who
that does more sometimes
than having to try and explain. Well, this is why. You know, this is why this came out this way, or this is who I am as a person.
No, that's not really
it's not an apology. And I personally would say save that apology. Like, don't give me that apology because I don't want it because it's not real. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think that is.
So for me, I have apologized before, and then I have explained in regards to, you know, why I've done something. But now it wasn't to excuse the behavior or anything like that, but it's to more or less give the person insight in regards to who I am as a person, because maybe they don't know me as well as I thought that they knew me. And so here it is. Let me explain to you, this is me, and I don't take offense to certain things like this, but you know, I apologize because of how I maneuver. I thought you could handle it. I'm that kind of person, you know. And so I don't, like I say, I don't have a problem with apologizing for anything, especially if I didn't know that it was something that you would take offense to, you know, because nobody's perfect, and each person is going to have different boundaries in regards to what they can say to a person that another person may take offense to. So you have to be willing to hear them out and listen to what they took offense to, apologize, and then move on from it.
Let me say this. Let me say something about that right there. But I understand that. But let me tell you why, to me, that's all wrong. And the reason why I say that's all wrong, when you apologize and then you do take time to tell them this is me as a person, that's bad time. At that time, it should be simply about hearing that person and allowing them to get into a place to hear you out about what type of person you is. That conversation is supposed to be at another time, another day. When you go to them to apologize, leave it at that. When you bring the extra, the apology don't feel the same way. It don't be received the same way. Because even though you're not trying to like give all this other talk or message to justify what you did or what you said, you're just showing them what you are. That's not how they receive it. So when you apologize, let the apology lay for a little bit, and then come back and have another discussion at a different time when the wounds are healed, and then that door is open that y'all can have that conversation. And none of that stuff that they're gonna be thinking at that time, or possibly will be thinking, their mind will be in a whole different place.
I agree and I disagree, because for me, I feel like if you bring up something that already has transpired, it's like you're throwing salt onto that wound again, and it's basically like you're readdressing something that has already supposed to have been addressed.
That's true.
He's talking about the moment where
I understand what you say. That's true what you're saying. I'm just saying at the time when it's time to apologize, don't never add nothing else with the apology.
Just let it be.
That's all I'm saying. It's always good to tell a person how you are.
See, now this is why I disagree, because sometimes some people don't know why they're apologizing. And so you have to be clear in regards to why you're apologizing. So, for example, like, let's say, you know, I heard someone spill. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, let her speak so we can understand clearly.
Yeah, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Ms. Lita?
I think she's on the call. She muted her mic.
Oh, she's on call. I think she might be on call.
Yeah, she was telling us to hold on.
Oh, okay.
What's up to everybody in the chat?
The Ewing family is in the building. Did the Ewing family finish their dinner tonight?
Shout out to Miss Leslie coming through with the words of wisdom.
Hey.
We see you.
I love it here.
Yeah, we love having you here too.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Sherry said, "Hey, baby."
Hey, Sherry.
Come on, Miss Lita, with your thoughts.
What's up to everybody in the chat? What's up to everybody?
What did y'all have to eat for your family?
Oh, she said they're finished. They had that mac and cheese. They had that mac and cheese. And broccoli and something else. Chicken, I think.
Leslie, we finished eating.
Oh, we finished, Leslie?
That's what she was saying, that they finished eating.
We finished eating?
Let's go! I'm excited. Let's go.
It's like if someone apologizes like you don't have to explain to me why. Like why, you know what I'm saying? Like just say I'm sorry for me, because you're gonna know why.
It's gonna take away from
You
the
know what I'm saying?
apology.
Yeah, but like if this person comes to you and says like this is what you said that hurt me, right? Okay, I really am sorry for hurting you, and that's that. Like you don't have to explain to me, you know, who you are or none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like you just have to say, okay, like I apologize. Sometimes that apology it means more than you trying to explain. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the story. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes. And like Gates emoji
So
said,
they put us a whole chicken thighs, mac and cheese, and broccoli. Okay.
Who had that? Who had chicken thighs, mac and cheese, and broccoli? Tell the
UN family.
They know I'm Mr.
Should we text
Mr. Brochesky. Let me see what it is. Your legs can hold down the chat for a second.
Oh yeah, no, we got it.
Do you okay, so good. I want to connect. Is it okay that I connect?
Yes, ma'am. You sure can, girl.
All right. I love that. I love what you all were saying when in regards to when you are apologizing to the person, timing is everything. If you use that opportunity to say anything more, rehash the entire explanation and reasoning behind the apology and all of that, well, I could take it as you are denying my feelings.
Yes, and
most do not know. Right? Yes, you do not know how I'm going to take that extra stuff that you got going on, and it may confuse the whole thing. And your demeanor may change, your facial expression may change, your body language may change, and I may see that as, I don't think she's sincere. You are not really sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so the reason why I said I don't agree with that in every situation, because you could be talking to a person, like, okay, I'll give you an example. I had a young lady who I was basically kind of mentoring. Now, I had made a comment to her, like, never let a man use you as a doormat. You know your self-worth and everything. Well, the young lady had took offense when I said that. And so, I thought she had took offense because in regards to the young man who she was dealing with, I told her, if you say he's mean, then don't deal with him. Why would you continue to place yourself in that situation? So when she said that her feelings was hurt, I was like, well, I'm sorry, baby, you have to explain to me what your feelings is hurt on. And that's why I'm saying sometimes you have to ask, like, I don't mind apologizing, but you got to explain to me what I'm apologizing for. And so what she took offense to was the fact that I said, baby, don't be anybody's doormat. And I was like, okay, well, honey, I apologize that you took anything that I said out of context. I truly apologize sincerely from the bottom of my heart. And so I had to explain to her in regards to what doormat meant in that regards, like, a person using you just because. And so I think it was a language barrier in regards to age, because she didn't understand what doormat meant. And so that's why I had to find out exactly what I was apologizing for. I can't correct a situation unless I know what actually bothered a person.
Could I say how I could see that? Mm-hmm. I could see. Let's give Ms. Moji a chance. That put yourself in that position, Ms. Moji, and maybe the feeling or the direct, don't let nobody treat you like a doormat, and then the explanation of what a doormat is. Put yourself in that scenario so that we can see how you would take it, and then I'll say how I take. I am taking it now.
Yes, ma'am. I personally would not have took offense to it, right? But if I had took offense to it, I would come to you and say, like, okay, look, you hurt me, by saying whatever, right? Whatever you said. But the apology where you said, what did you say? Like, baby, what did you, like, Lita, how was your apology?
Baby, I didn't know that would make, I don't really remember exactly how I said it, but something to the effect like I didn't know that was something that you would take offense to, you know. And so let me explain to you what I mean in regards to being somebody's doormat. And so I get what you guys are saying, that it can lessen the message and make the message come off less pure in that regards. But again, because I was so much older than this young lady, I don't think that she took it, you know, the way that it was delivered. And so my whole thing was I didn't know that was something that was offensive to her. And so I had to ask, you know, what did you exactly take offense to? So that way I would know how to maneuver with her from there on out in regards to our interactions.
Okay.
What about you, Lucy?
Okay, for me, I'm not so sensitive, so I don't want anyone to think so. And if they thought that, it's okay too. Okay. But as for me, I'm just trying to come up with another scenario as to I'm putting myself in that scenario that Miss Lita is talking about. For me, I could take what was said. Not that I need a definition for doormat, but I could take it that you're implying that I am being treated in that moment as a doormat. And so I would take offense to that if I were to feel that way in that moment.
Right.
And like I said, you know, if I know that you don't know me and know my situation, you don't know me and in my relationship, then I wouldn't take it personal because you don't know. So it cannot come from that place.
Right.
But if you did know, and that was said to me, you know, I think I would take it as maybe she's implying that my guy is treating me like a doormat.
So let me explain like a little bit more in depth without telling this young lady's business. So this young lady basically had made the comment that, you know, she was going to have a sexual encounter with this young man no matter what transpired. If that young man had a girlfriend or whatever, like she was trying to basically get a position in this young man's life no matter what.
Sound like she was thirsty.
It does sound like she was thirsty, but you know, again, because I knew the young lady and I knew that she just didn't know her worth as a young lady, I wanted to explain to her that, you know, basically you're not seeing it, but I'm looking at you and I'm seeing it as you're allowing this man to use you, baby. Like don't let anybody use you. You know, stand your ground, be wholesome in regards to who you are as a person without allowing someone to demean you. And so as she kept going on and on, that was the true definition of being used as a doormat. And that was the only way that I felt like I could explain it to her. But I didn't realize that was something that she would take offense to. Just that one word.
Okay, so, if you could pause right there and look at that. Look at that whole thing that you just said. Isn't that the same thing I just said? That she could take it as you're implying that she is a doormat.
Well, now wait.
Because you can't deny her of her feelings now.
Now this is where the twist came in it, because I didn't know that this young lady had took offense to it. And so she went and told someone else.
Oh no!
And she took offense to it instead of telling me. And then I had to go back to her and be like, "Look, baby, you know, I definitely wasn't trying to be offensive to you. I was passionate in regards to trying to help her, but it just didn't come out in the way that it should have came out to her. And so it kind of made me pull back in regards to what I said to this young lady, because again, I just didn't know what she would take offense to anymore. And so it kind of stifled my interaction with her, because I can't be as honest with you and as passionate in regards to how I feel that you should be treated as a young woman without you taking offense to it and going to tell this person over here instead of having a conversation with me because I'm the person who's having the conversation with you.
You know, that part doesn't bother me anymore because, like,
It doesn't bother me.
If we're blunt with someone and it comes
I
across
see you laughing,
as
Miss Moji.
sharp, comes across like very sharp, we have to realize everybody has a friend. Even if that friend doesn't really act like a friend or is worthy of a friend,
Mm-hmm.
if I am direct with someone, blunt with them, not direct, just direct. If I am blunt with someone in a way that is sharp, that person has a friend, okay? Or a significant other that they can talk to. It doesn't matter the title of that significant other, but in their painful moment, they may not want to talk to me.
Yeah.
They may not want to talk to me. They may not want to receive an apology even when I give it. And so now in that pain, they may not feel strong enough or trusting me enough to tell me and express themselves what I said that hurt them in that moment. I may not even find out for some time. And sometimes we don't ever find out, or sometimes it takes years for people to express themselves.
Yeah.
See,
You
and,
know,
and for me,
and seriously, like I have a sister, we look alike. She's beautiful and she says I'm beautiful. But it was something that happened and she held on to it. We're both blunt people. But she didn't remember what was said or even done. Years later, she still wasn't talking. We're talking now, but she didn't. When it came to what did I do? You know, you want to know what she said? I don't know, but let me think about it. I'll think of something. I'm like, wow, you gonna make up stuff? Like you gonna make up something?
See, I'm like you, Leslie.
It was so she wasn't ready, and she said it. She said, "I'm not ready." I said, "But it's been years, though. It's been years. It's been like 5 years. I love you. I want us to have a conversation, a relationship, a better one. We don't have to be this way."
Yeah, definitely.
And so we have to realize something. People is not always ready to receive our apology and our time.
Exactly.
And we can't blame
Hey,
them
ladies, I don't
if
want
they go decide to tell 10 people.
Run, okay?
Oh, okay. Bye, Miss
Bye,
Moji.
Bye, love.
All right.
And that's true. That's true because you feel like, you know, you said your apology that not everybody has to accept your apology
That's
then
right.
because you felt like, oh, I apologize, you ought to get over it. Not everyone wants to accept the apology right then.
Yeah.
And so that has been a big problem too, that, you know, some people just feel like when you apologize, that automatically takes away that sting. It doesn't. Sometimes it takes a minute.
Yes.
And that person will forgive you in due time, but they have to forgive you in their own way. It's just not going to happen because you feel like it should happen right then.
Right then, yes. And you know, to add to that, to add fuel to all of that bluntness, woo, here's another portion. Oh my God, it's like fire being thrown at you. So you are expressing yourself.
Hold on, Traisha calling.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Traisha. Hello.
Hi, I wanted to call in to give my point of view because sometimes I go through that. What you guys been talking about on the panel. Sometimes I go through it because I'm a person. Since I had I'm not ashamed to say this, okay? Since my mom had put me in a mental hospital when I was younger. And it was this nurse guy. Oh, I don't know if he's still there. He's probably retired. He told me, he said, what are you doing here? And I said, because I used to lash out and be angry when me and my mom had our difficulties. And he said, you don't deserve to be here like some of these people that's here. He said, you just need someone to listen to you so you can vent. And that's how I am. I like someone to listen to me so I can vent. And then whatever they want to vent, I'm a listening ear. And sometimes, even in my relationship, my boyfriend thinks I come off too harsh and he get his feelings. And then I'm the one end up apologizing because I think I'm in the wrong. And thank God now for my therapist. She said, no, you're not wrong. You're just talking. You're not in the wrong. And if he can't see that, he don't need to be with you. So, what do you think about that?
I mean, that's kind of hard. What you got to say, Leslie?
It sounds like it's 3 parts to that story, and it's and I don't mean, you know, her portion, his portion, the therapist portion, and the truth of the whole matter. Not that, but the guy who came, you know, who said what he said to her, the way he expressed himself, he could have expressed himself in a better way than he did. And also the therapist, she's supposed to be the therapist and not a relationship therapist. And I'll stop right there.
So I'll say this. I feel like the therapist made an unfair assessment.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like the therapist made an unfair assessment because she didn't hear both sides of the disagreement to get his perspective and your perspective. So anytime there's something transpires, I always feel like this. It's your side, their side, and then the truth. And so whatever y'all say, somewhere it lies within the truth. And you just have to listen to both sides to get a definitive answer in regards to what's the truth and what was, you know, not the truth or was exaggerated in regards to the argument. So I feel like the therapist, although she gave you her opinion, I don't feel like it was a fair assessment.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
And is she a relationship therapist? And is all parties available?
I don't mean to be blunt, but sometimes I just want my point to be across, and I don't mean to be harsh or rude, but I know sometimes when he does tell me after he calmed down, say how I made him feel, then I come and say, again, I apologize because I shouldn't make someone feel a certain type of way. I should watch my words because I'm learning that your words is a boomerang.
Oh, baby.
And when you shoot it out hard, it's going to come back harder on you.
Baby, words can cut. Yes. They can cut. Cut you down to the white meat.
Can Traisha hear me?
Traisha, can you hear Leslie?
Hi, Traisha.
No, I can't. It's low. I wish I could be on the panel. But as soon as we get everything going for me, I can start being on the girl chat.
Definitely, honey. Yes. We'll welcome you to the panel. Well, Miss Leslie wants to tell you something. So if you don't mind listening from the audience for a few minutes.
Okay.
All right, honey. You have a good one.
You too.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Yes. So I agree with you, Miss Lita. And my heart actually goes out to Traisha when she said that she doesn't mean to be blunt. I can say the same thing about myself. I don't mean to be blunt, but then I do. I do mean to be blunt, but not rude. I truly believe that, Traisha, if you can hear me, I truly believe that you can be blunt, that I also can be blunt, but I'm not saying that you are, I'm not saying that I am rude either. I believe that we can be blunt, but not rude. Yeah, we can be direct. Blunt and direct, same thing. We can be direct to the point of the matter, but not rude.
Kyron, I definitely agree with you that you can apologize and then go right back and doing the same things all over again if you want to apologize. Like when you apologize, you definitely shouldn't do the same thing over again.
Right.
But if you do, then it's one of those things. You know what? I forgot that's a trigger for you, and so I apologize. You should apologize.
Do you really want to say that word, trigger? Oh,
I mean, some things can be a trigger for some people.
Saying the word trigger can be a trigger.
That's true. Just like, okay, so I learned as a facilitator, whenever you are having a conversation with someone, never use the word but. But has a negative connotation in regards to any type of delivery. And then also never start a sentence out when you're having a disagreement with you. Because as soon as you say but or you, it's a wrap. Nothing that you say is going to be heard because you use one of those two words, but or you.
Yes.
So you have to make sure that you avoid those words as best you can. And for me, dealing with Gangsta Emoji and Glenn, Lord have mercy. Y'all pray for a sister, because them two together, they'll cause me to drink.
Who said my name? Who said my name? Who?
I said your name. I said your name. They will cause you to drink, baby. If you don't have some tough alligator skin with dealing with the two of them, then trust. Something wrong. Whatever. Me and him will have knockout, drag out fights.
He coughing and everything.
I don't care. Me and him will have knockout, drag out fights, but I thank God for the altercations, because at least we take time to listen to each other at some point.
And learn.
We gotta get these deposits down pat.
Yeah, we do.
We gotta get these deposits down pat, y'all.
Oh, we got some ugly fights. We have.
Hold on. Let me see if I point the finger.
Shut the hell up! Look, I can't stand you. Now, and I'm pointing it back the other way. We gotta
get these deposits down right. Ooh, my nose, y'all.
Whatever. Shut the hell up! Look, y'all can't stand him. I can't stand him.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
He be starting some stuff with me. Y'all.
He's going into convulsions.
Yeah.
She ain't right.
What's wrong with him?
She ain't right.
He on that stuff.
What's wrong with him, Mrs. Moji? Pat his back.
He on that stuff.
Help the man.
Miss Moji, can you rub Buddha's belly? Maybe he'll get to acting right again. Num your renge ho. Num your renge ho.
Yeah, I ain't gonna deal with
Someone please call 911.
But no, with all honesty, I even though I hate when me and him disagree, at the end of it, we do have respect for one another, and it may take us a minute to hear each other out, but we are going to hear each other out, so that way we can still maneuver as a family and it not alter our relationship. But it takes those knockout, drag out fights for us to be like, damn, I didn't see it that way. I hear you now.
Put it like this, man. She realized she met her match, because I just don't
know. Know. I was going to say that.
And I know. Her demeanor, she used to talking, controlling the narrative, and then having her, and no, it just don't go with gangster.
But really,
I think Gangsta Emoji would get bored with me real quick, because
because I can deal with all walks of life. I can relate to any walk of life.
That's that pastor mentality.
Yeah, I'm on everybody's level. I'm built for everybody.
And so, like I tried to explain to him, I don't have that passive mentality all the time. Certain things I could be extremely passive about, and certain things I'd be like, hell to the no.
I'm educated. Just stay around long enough.
And do I not agree? I tell him where he got his strong suits.
We're gonna sharpen each other.
Whatever. I let him know where his strong suits are, because there's a lot of things. Shut up. There's a lot of things that doesn't bother him that I'd be like, oh no, dog. Like let me go for that jugular for you. And he'd be like, no, don't worry about it. No, let me handle the situation. And he So I'm working on that. I'm working on that.
No, Miss Lena, you are fine. You
No,
are
you good.
fine, huh?
You good.
No, but
You
but
are
But we're
fine.
gonna work on these we're gonna work on these apologies though.
hold on.
These apologies.
Yeah, let's get
these
straight to the
apologies we have
apology.
next
Can we get to that?
conversation. We're gonna learn how to do that. That's a small one though. That ain't no big one. We're gonna learn how
Yeah,
to
that's small
apologize. Now
talk.
look, and I want to say this, y'all. Check this out. Just this whole scenario of being blunt and apologizing and all that. This is what I said on the phone the other day, and it was just jokes. Y'all. It was just jokes. We was on the phone, and I was telling Glenn, and I was telling Jay Breezy and D from the Ewing family. These my boys. I told all of them that I love them. Right? Right? And everybody on the phone know I was joking around, and at the same time, they knew that I really love my niggas, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Right? So now let's just look at that whole situation where I repeatedly told them over and over on the phone that I love them, and I was trying to get them to tell me they love me back. What if in that whole situation I really was bothered?
You
Just
could
think
have been.
about it. Just
Yeah.
stick with me. Just what if I was really bothered that none of these dudes who I told I love them wouldn't tell it to me back? They said I got love for you, and they did all this, I adapted and all that, and I really was offended by it, and they didn't know it. And I go to them, and I go to my dudes, and I say, "Hey man, look, y'all really offended me on the phone, bro. I'm telling y'all I love y'all, and y'all acting like woo woo woo. How are they supposed to handle that situation? All they supposed to do is say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Not nothing else goes with
Not
that.
nothing else.
Nothing else goes with that.
Nope.
Nothing else goes with it.
That comes
Anything,
with maturity, gangsta emoji.
regardless how true it may be, what they can add to it.
That's right.
If they say anything else after I'm sorry,
I'm
you
sorry.
just take it back.
That's
You
it.
just take it back with me. You can't say I'm sorry and plus.
No.
You just took it back. You
Yep.
might as well saved it. Because now I'm going to hear everything else except the apology.
See, and again, for me,
That's
it's one
true.
of those things. I hear what you're saying, but for me, it's one of those things like, you know, I don't say I love you to a whole bunch of people because that's just not how I was raised in my
I
household.
get that.
And so for me to say I love you like that, that's a big thing. And
For
so
real.
when someone else says it to me and I don't say it back, yes, I definitely would apologize. But again, it's like I want you to have some type of understanding in regards to me. And it's not
I'm
that
just saying the apology is not.
I get what you, but that's
Let me
what
respond to that.
I'm getting at. Hold on.
Okay.
So what I'm telling you is I definitely get what you're saying in regards to the apology loses its meaning because you're explaining yourself. But sometimes I feel like you have to explain yourself so that way both of y'all can have an understanding and in regards to the situation if it was to present itself the next time.
Okay, think about this. When you apologize, are you apologizing for yourself or for that person?
Whoa.
I'm apologizing for myself and
See,
and
that's
for
the
my
wrong reason. If you was apologizing for that person,
wait a minute, but wait,
you wouldn't say nothing else.
Okay, I'm apologizing for myself. I'm apologizing for myself because I didn't know my actions was going to be something that was going to be offensive to that person. Now I am apologizing to that person because I hurt that person and I didn't know that I hurt that person.
Okay, let's look at that. And now that's all that matters right there. It's not about you didn't know. It ain't about what you can explain it. All that's irrelevant. The main fact is that the person is hurt and they need the apology.
Yeah.
So even though you want to get that understood that I didn't know, we get that. We hear that. And that I didn't even know you was hurt and I did, like, we get that. But at that point, all that's irrelevant. When it's about that person, if it's really about that person to you, then what you need to say and explain to them, that's for you. That's not even for them because they don't even really want to hear all that. They really, at that point in time, they don't need nothing but the apology, and that what solves it all. And when we understand that'd be like the easiest, that'd be so easy to do, to just like throw the apology out there, and then it's less time, it's less mind boggling, it's less talking, it's less words, and it does wonders. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying, but when you really apologizing to that person for that person, when you make it about them, then what you're trying to say and explain is kind of irrelevant at that point in time when the apology is what's really on the forefront. Everything that you can explain and convey and get across and all that, you're doing that for you. That's all about you right there. It ain't about nothing what they feeling, nothing what they going through. You trying to explain it, that ain't got nothing to do with them. So, but that apology, if it's really for them, all the extra got to be out the window. Until another time, later date, at the right time, to get back on that, bring it up, explain it, talk it out, hash it out, whatever. But that apology at that time be the most important and the best thing that you can do ever. And that just got to telling you the real right there. And that's for all of us. And then sometimes, even with myself, y'all.
That's for all of us.
Even with myself, we struggle with that apology thing. To say I'm sorry, even though we know it's the right thing, can be so hard to do, y'all. That just keep it be so hard sometimes because you can be in your feelings and feel like, you know what, I ain't gonna do it.
Some people refuse to apologize about certain things.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. That's what I'm saying. Like you get in your feelings, I'm not feeling say, because people be thinking like, well, they didn't apologize to me what they did to me, and they did me like this now, and they just, you know, all that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Come on, chat.
Yes.
Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. So, but for our circle, for each one of us that love each other, though, we can't save the world. We can't change the world. We can't conduct how the world gonna be tomorrow.
That's right.
But in our circle, we can have a unit of good people that know when we wrong each other, we know how to go to each other and say, I'm sorry, without nothing attached to it, nothing coming with it, just, I'm sorry, I wronged you. Even though in my mind, I want to tell you so bad how I was trying not to wrong you, how I didn't even know I wronged you. But that ain't the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I did that to you. Please forgive me if you can find it in your heart to forgive me. And I want our friendship to stay fresh.
That's right.
I'm moving forward and making progress. And then at a later time, when I know that we good, hey man, you mean we fell out a long time ago? Let me explain that to you, man. Let me tell you what my mind was at that time. Then it's gonna be a whole. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Sometimes you gotta know how not just pick the battle, but you know how to fight it at the same time.
And I'm with you on that. However, like I said, sometimes you don't know what you're apologizing for because
I was going to say that too, but
you don't know what a person took offense to.
You're not going to always know.
And so sometimes you do have to ask, like, you know, you have to get an understanding.
You can ask later.
So this is how that looks. Don't mean to cut out. This is how that looks. Hey dog, what I do to offend you? Man, you said whoop to whoop, whoop to whoop. Okay, my bad, my apologies. Because what still happens, a person want to give the long conversation, the long explanation, and then it never comes off authentic. So you still got to know how to lay that when the person make it known to you what it was, and then that's when you want to go into that conversation and explain it and doing all that. The apology, if it do take place, it's still not gonna be real. You got to still understand that this person is in a place of hurt, and the apology is the most important thing needed, and the conversation can always come at a later time and at a better time. If that makes sense. So don't always try to talk everything out and get the explanation. When they tell you, well, this is what you did wrong, hear that. Make sure you hear what they said you did wrong to them. Because you know, okay, I didn't mean it like that. Okay, hold it. I'm sorry you took it like that. Hold it. Just give the apology.
And let it go.
Later time, then let everything peace down. And then later on, come back with that entire conversation at a better time. But if you have it right then, you might lose your friend.
You might lose your friend because in that moment, your friend could be in pain.
They could be in pain.
They could be in a whole lot of pain, and they want to get off the phone with you and cry.
Yeah, and you're more concerned
to themselves.
You're more concerned with talking about how you didn't mean it like that. You're more concerned with explaining that you took it the wrong way. You're more in tune with all that instead of this person. You bringing peace to this person right by saying I'm sorry. You know?
So when I've done that, it's not about explaining myself.
No.
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
it's not about explaining myself. It's about making sure that those boundaries aren't crossed again. And I need to know in regards to what boundaries was broken, and they need to understand again, like, it's not something that was done intentionally, but we have to have some type of understanding in regards to one another. And so I mean that's just big.
You may not.
Big for me. Like
I agree with that wholeheartedly. My only thing I'm saying is it don't come that conversation don't take place at the same time the apology. So I
feel like it should take place before the apology, because you have to come to some kind of common grounds in regards to knowing what the problem is.
But if
what about this gangster emoji?
If somebody hurt, they're not gonna want to talk about something.
Okay, what about this
like if I hurt a person and then I want to have a conversation, we can't talk that out. We need that apology needs to come first. So I can be like, I can link in with that person and know that this person is really concerned with my feelings instead of them just want to,
explain
this and say this to me and preach that to me, and now I got to hear that out and tell them my part. That don't be the right time for that. That don't be the right time. That's why I use my conversation with Glenn and them. Say, for instance, if I took that wrong, why would they want to come and have a conversation with me first instead of tell me that you sorry? Bro, you can't care about how I feel. If you mean to tell me you want to talk it out first before you apologize to me, that already right there speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Because my feelings is on the line. It's not so much about having the conversation to reach an understanding. It's my feelings, my heart.
But that's what I'm saying. You're having the conversation so that way you can understand the person's feelings. Like, say for example, with me and you, we've had disagreements in the past, and I didn't understand where you was coming from, but I had to talk through it with you in order to get an understanding. And then it's like, oh well, damn. Light bulb. Right. Okay, shit, I missed that.
Everybody not like that. I mean, you got thick skin.
Yeah, that's a different scenario.
Everybody not like that. So you can't put everybody in that category. That's how me and you work. If it had been somebody else, I promise you, I wouldn't have handled them the same way as how me and you get down.
No.
If it had been anybody else outside of you or outside of my wife, I would not have the same conversation. I would not have stepped with them the same way. Because they're not groomed the same way.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have went the same way. It would not have went the same way. I probably would have tapped out, gave my apologies, and backed off of it and got up off of that thing. But with you and my wife, I can stand in the paint with y'all. That's different. Because y'all groomed a certain way. But everybody, don't put everybody in that class. Don't put everybody in that category. That we need to talk it out and work it out. Nope, some people, we're going to go to them, apologize, and step back. Wait for that door to open. Wait for God to get that opening door for us to step back into it and then have that conversation.
But see,
everybody, you can't just bang it out with them.
And I agree with you. I totally agree with you on that. But then when you step back, some people take that in the wrong way.
Yeah, that's true.
So how do you?
Still it's a peaceful situation, though. At least they're not arguing back and forth. And if they're feeling something, you gotta let them come out their feelings, and then eventually, if it's meant for y'all to talk again, y'all talk again. If not, it is what it is. As long as you know that you try to make peace in the situation. Something that's just what that is. But I can't handle everybody the way me and you get down. That's not for everybody.
I agree.
That's like Leslie is on the panel right now, and me and Leslie haven't had conversations over the phone. We haven't got a soul tie, a bond like that. So I'm not gonna. So if she was to call my phone and say, "Gangsta Mo, did you hurt me?" Or I'm dealing with that. So I'm gonna get that. When we get off that phone, she's gonna be at peace with Gangsta. Not saying that conversation is over with, but at that moment, I'm dealing with that hurt, and that's it. Nothing else. Nothing else gonna matter to me. Once I relieve her that hurt, I'm gonna come back maybe 2 months from now, 3 months from now. But I'm gonna come back to that door and we're gonna have that conversation. We're gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna get that understanding about each other.
Okay. So let me give a prime example in regards to what I'm talking about. Now, Leslie, I know you remember this conversation because we've talked about it previously. But you know, with Gangsta, he don't remember what happened 2 seconds ago. So you know, I gotta refresh his memory. So we had an incident where whatever. We had an incident one time where someone took something that we said in a live the wrong way. And they instantly made a comment and got off. And so it was one of those things where, okay, let me try to figure out what transpired or what this person took offense to, so that way we can fix the problem type thing. And apologize, because nobody knew what the problem was, because none of us thought we said anything offensive. But something that this person took offense to bothered them so much that they just got off completely. And we still never got a definitive answer in regards to what had transpired.
Right.
But we put an apology out there.
Yep. And we just left it alone after that. It's cool. They went on their way, we go our way. It's cool. Like, that's all we can do in a situation like that. You know what I mean?
That is all you can do.
Yep. That's all you can do in a situation like that. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Got my wife walking through this house swinging her hips left to right so hard.
Oh, Lord. Miss Moji, you know you finna get attacked.
I don't know what he's talking about, Miss Lita. we are not supposed to know what he's talking about right now.
Oh my God, y'all, he cuts up on a regular basis. Y'all just don't know how bad. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this topic, put a 1 in the chat for us. Put a 1 in the chat.
Woohoo! Hey,
man, y'all doing a great job on the women's chat, man. Shout out to Miss Lita. Shout out to Miss Lita here, man. Y'all doing a wonderful job. Thank y'all for allowing me and my wife to give our little input. Even though y'all know I came in joking around. That's what I do with
all
Miss
the time.
Lita.
But y'all know I love him to pieces. He gets on her.
You know, because, and at the end of the day, when I be speaking, it's really because that's how much, like, Lita know when I'm speaking to her. That's because how much love I got for her as a person. And look, and we both know each other rough edges. Like, we both know each other. Me and her know each other. We both know each other rough edges. And so, where I need to be toned down at, I'm always cutting off. Oh, I get it. I'm understanding. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. Lita, we're working on that apology thing. No conversation attached. No nothing. Just so we all sharpening each other. That's what it's about. We all grooming each other, making each other better. You know what I mean? And so I really appreciate y'all for what y'all doing here on this women's chat, man. I think today's topic was a great topic, a much needed topic. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot more people could have said a lot more things, but it is what it is. And I still think it was a good show, man.
I do too, and I think that it definitely it helps enlighten some situations and how to maneuver and approach different situations, because you're getting different perspectives from each individual. And it don't be doing the little head dance, like hurry your ass up.
I'm listening to you.
But I mean, you know, it definitely enlightens the mood and in regards to how people think. And so, you know, sometimes you do need things to be brought to the forefront in regards to how you interact and how you maneuver.
Right. And it's a good point. But what I try to bring home with Lita today was that the way we shoot the ish, the way we get at each other's throat, real life getting at each other's throat on the phone, we can't do that with everybody.
Yeah.
We can't do it with everybody. Everybody is not groomed for that. Everybody not built for it. Everybody not gonna accept it. And that don't mean because they don't accept how we are and how we get down with each other, and they don't need to be over here with us. Nope. Give people grace to grow. You know, give people grace to grow. I believe in that. I'm really big on that. You know what I mean? That we give people grace to grow.
Yeah.
Make those mistakes. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, try again.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be right there with you the whole way. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna be off this thing, man. Appreciate you, Miss Lita, for having me and my wife. Thank you, Miss Leslie, for being on this platform with Miss Lita. I think that you are a great choice for Miss Lita to have on the panel. Not saying that Yolanda and Toya wasn't, because they were great. They're great people too. But you ladies did a great job today. I want to thank you ladies for that. And I'm out of here.
Well, I'm getting ready to end as well. Let me go ahead and say my goodbyes. Leslie, girl. Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate you for stepping in tonight. I appreciate Miss Moji and Gangster for always coming through, definitely in the clutch, because I didn't think I was going to get the StreamYard thing to work tonight, but he definitely helped out. So I appreciate you all, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, I'm your girl, Miss Lita, and I'm out this thing. Peace.